Once again, I hold his lapel, okay? And when I trap his arm now, I will try to get my head on this side, okay? So sometimes I get him in here and I can, lean forward, something similar for what Kai was doing yesterday to adjust the arm bar. So I start to slide my weight from his bicep a little bit over his elbow. So when I'm here, I start to slide a little bit here and I stretch his arm. What I'm looking for is a space to pass my head to the other side. Okay, if my head is already here, then great. Okay? So if my head is on this side, I put a little bit of weight on him. I can even put my toes on the ground and put some weight here and pass my head to this side. Okay? Come back with my knee here close to his neck. I will keep blocking his arm with my head. This will not hold his arm forever, but will give me the second I need. I just need to trap his arm for 1 second. So I get here, okay? So put my thumb on his lapel and go back to the north-south position. Actually it's in between the north-south and the side control. Okay, I normally don't get completely parallel to my opponent, so I get on diagonal. So you hold as deep as you can, your elbow goes to the ground. As you do that, you're gonna pull your fist on the opposite direction. This is something what you should do for every single choke you do. You always move your fist on the opposite direction than the neck to your opponent. So I put my elbow on the ground, I will pull my fist on the opposite direction, and I will also open my elbow here. So I have all these positions. If it's still, sometimes we are too tired and the grip is low, what I'm doing sometimes I put my head on top of my hand, and I try to keep adjusting little by little, but I leave my head here, okay? It's really hard for him to escape once I trap his arm. Because normally the guy escape, and it used to happen with me a lot. By the time I come here, he come with this hand and he start to pulling my hand or pulling my elbow and make it harder. But once I get tight, if I get tight here now, it's not much what he can do. But make sure your hip is low, close to the ground, and you have some weight. Your head weight is on top of him. This hand, I don't have to do much, but I keep trying to keep his shoulder under me. Because if he managed to escape away and turn inside, he might escape. Okay, so this hand here, I keep pulling him, especially after I lock. When I lock, I start to pull my bottom hand, I get in here, and I keep my position. If you start to jump, don't worry. If you have the right position, you're I measure like my chest over his shoulder and my toes on the ground. I have this grip in here, drop my head, and I stay here. I let him to move. More he jumps, better gonna be for me, because there's not too much oxygen going to his brain, and he's burning all this oxygen really, really fast. So he will tap very soon. So the fact that, when you have a pressure straight on the throat, many times the person gets desperate and tap right away. So it's very common. When you do this, the person taps right away. You do this, put the pressure, and then he taps. So, I have the side control. You get the hand in front of my hip. Slide your head and hold his lapel. Okay, you can, at this point you might can come on your knees. I use this position just as transition. I like to get side control over here. One hip, one knee in front of his hip and the other leg straight. Okay? So, I come and trap his arm. My head is outside, so I put my toes on the ground and I lean forward and I try to slide my shoulder over his forearm. Once I stretch him a little bit, bring my head outside and I block his head. His arm. I control here. At this point I can adjust my position, and as I have my lapel, he will probably not be able to clear his arm. Okay, I can put some pressure and control even with my hand. Okay, so at this point my thumb comes inside and I rotate. As I rotate, I come back and I open. Raise down, elbow open. If you need, you can put your head above your hand. Okay?